what is it about Sita Ma and the karma and dharma Sanghamitra, and why did whatever happen in the Ramayana, and how can we learn from it and then take it forward in all aspects of our life?
Yes. See, the most popular thing of that Ram was a king. And most popular, the first thing when we talk about Sita as even as a layman, we think is that Sita was abducted. Then the Sita went to Vanvas again. So we don't have the understanding of Sita, Mother Sita. First, mother Sita, Ma Sita, was given to his father at Raja Janak when he was plowing his field. He discovered her. So Mother Sita is the womb of the universe. She holds the cosmic womb within her. So she is created, not born to human. And she comes with a huge, unique power. So there's always a story and most people ask me that if Ram and everything was so strong, he was everything, then how could anybody abduct Sita and take her away like that? But the thing is that Sita was born as a catalyst to kill to Ravana. To end the end of Ravana was Sita was the catalyst towards this. Ram was born to defeat him. But then, as I said, justice, dharma and karma. These are two very important parts of Ramayana. So if Ram had a huge army, Lord Ram, and he knew so many of the kings, and everybody would have come together and defeated Ravana. But then he didn't want to do that because he wanted to give Ravana the time to change or his misdeeds to come to a point where it is justifiably defeated. You cannot just because you have power, you cannot go and kill or defeat anybody just because you feel he is wrong. His wrong has to be proven to the world. So that is the reason because Ravana himself, as we say that Ram has a huge stature, Ravana, his enemy, was equally had a high stature. He was called Dash, he has the 10 faces. So 10 faces does not mean in Ram Leela or the stories how we say 10 faces come out like that. No, it's not that. He could behave as 10 persons at one point of time. He was so blessed because he had done a lot of penance. So killing or defeating Ravana was a very different part. So he had to go through that process of exile, the process of understanding, meditating, and understanding. So he wanted to make him allow Ravana to make his mistake. Both Ravana and Ram were equally powerful. But Ram was on the part of dharma and he was on the part of injustice. He was more in the point of power, luxury, vanity, and all this. And Ram was in the part of dharma and karma. So he made his Ram could not never cross his line of duty. So Mother Sita, when they were in the exile, he was like the marriage holes becomes like a deer and he runs a golden deer and Sita says, I want it. Ram goes there and then uh, the Marich, his name is who turns as a golden deer, takes the sound of Ram and calls on Lakshman. So that Lakshman also goes so that Ravan can come and take him. So this act was played, and when Ravana comes, Ravana knew very well that he is taking his death along, but he could not hold himself onto that point knowingly because his sister Surpanaka had told him that, you have been told, challenged him for taking her and marrying Sita. So that he couldn't let go of to prove his power, that he could do everything with his power. So when he comes and Sita crosses the Lakshman Rekha, the ring of fire, he abducts her. When he goes there, he very well he knew that he's taking his end with him but still he could not hold him. And everybody says, and why could he take Sita? Because Sita knew she had to go with him. And during the Swayamvar of Lord Rama and Sita, even Ravan had come. But Ravan could not even leave alone lift, he couldn't even move the Kandi, the bow which was kept there. So it was blessed by Lord Shiva the Gandav. So, and you can imagine if Sita was not ready to go, would he have even able to touch her? So it is a play in life, the same way things happen to us. So many times we allow the person to, play to the folly and then we hold him. So this was that part. So it is a myth, and many people do not understand this fact that Mother Sita had her own powers. She went there, nothing, even, even a small grass seed she held, and Ravan could not even cross that line. She was so powerful. If she wanted, she could have done that here itself. But it was in play. We are all living, coming in this path on this life, be it Lord Rama, be it me, or be it you, or anybody here. We are living a predestined life. How we walk this life is more important. So that is what Rama showed, how you walk your life when you're aligned to your mission on earth. We have all come for a mission on earth. We have our own mission. That is, that we get aligned to something. You see so many engineering students, they go off and they again turn to something else. Some people into something else and they turn shift. Is the reason is the moment they come and allow and align to the mission, their life changes. And that is what gives them the most soothing and inspiring life. So this is what the proven is, that myth of Sita, that she was powerless and was abducted. No, she allowed, and Ravan also knew he was taking back his dead end with him. But then the vanity and the thing of this earth sometimes make you fall into so much of folly. So this is very important. There are innumerable small, places where we can just keep on quote, and 5 days also will be less. But then these are some very important points to look at Ravana, that how the Ramayana, how it was. The enemy was equally strong, the king was equally strong. Both were into that path, but then the righteousness, dharma, everything changed the destiny of each person.
Wonderful, Sanghamitra. Thank you. This is to say then that, when we do this, either do a one-on-one reading with you or learn this, it's like actually we understand whatever is happening for a reason, and this is actually like a story, and we are actually getting guidance and healing through this story, which is so revered and which has so many aspects to it. So
Yes.
this is like a very interesting way of learning about ourselves and healing as well, right?
Yes, absolutely. Because it tells you that why things are happening with you, and why, and tell you more. When we go through readings in this, when we do, when we experience a personal session, when it is go deep, two sessions will actually, you will feel you have taken astrological session, because it goes so deep and it comes out so well that it really changes your whole outlook when you are doing the readings. So it's not that what we are doing now, we are doing because we don't have so much of time to spend over one that. So we are doing the pointers into that and giving a guidance. But when you go that, you really feel your life and understanding why things happen to you, why things are going to happen, how you can change ahead.
Wonderful. What else do we need, right? So, thank you for that confirmation, Sanghamitra. Shortly, everyone, in a few minutes, we're actually going to see what Sanghamitra just mentioned, that how it is all in play in the oracle. Quickly, Sanghamitra, a question has come, and I want to confirm if this is also in line with what you said. So, Vinita is asking that why did Lord Rama not support Ma Sita and ask her to go through the fire test? Because this hurt women for centuries and making them vulnerable to gossips. So even this Sanghamitra is
Yeah.
a part of a larger scheme of things.
Yes, yes. You what, here comes the love and faith between a couple. Rama was pained to hear when they wanted, the kingdom wanted, people wanted to go through a Agni Pariksha, or the fire test. And Sita knew that she had to stand by her husband at this point of time, because if she fails, her husband fails, his faith fails. So she was ready, and she actually created this because, as I said, Mother Sita came to prove to the world that how the function or the ecosystem of the society works, how we work hand in hand. She knew as a king, and that he would, people will ask that why she was there and what happened. So it was her point that she wished, and if Mother Sita did not want, Ram would have never insisted on doing that. It was she on her insistence which she said that I will go through the fire test. because she knew she was going to win, and Ram also knew that she will win. It was not between Sita and Ram. It was people of the Janadesh. We say the understanding of the people, because Ram was the king. He was a king first. When you become a king, they used to say, then you forget everything, your kingdom, your kingsmen, they are the most important part of your life. And you have to hold them in place and give them the faith that you stand with them in thick and thin of life. So that is the reason Sita said Ram that he should put his kingship on the first and rest on the back. So it was not about hurting anybody. She herself went through that to prove herself and her kingdom and her husband and everybody that how pure and the faith played. See, these are the things which we need to understand, that how faith plays in between. People have seen that we have heard because we are looking at from a dimension of a 21st century. That was so different. The century at that point of time, the other things at that point of time was totally different. People were different, thoughts were different, understanding of the woman was thinking, everybody was, uh, everything was different. So from that point of view, if you go to the dimension and think, you will understand. That is the reason when you understand the full Ramayana, you will come to understand that what played between Lord Ram and Sita at that point of time, what came into play, what was the understanding. So Ram always held himself higher than anything as a king, because otherwise when the whole family, the whole of kingdom went to the forest to bring back Ram, even Bharat took his father-in-law Raja Janak with him, that at least he will listen to him. But Ram at that point said, I'm really moved that you all come and the love and faith which you all show. But he said, no, I cannot do, because first I have to take care of the the promise which my father said. Second, I am a king. I cannot go back on my words at never at any point of time. Anybody else wants to go back can go. This the vow was for me. Lakshman and Sita joined on voluntarily onto that. So he was not ready to do that. So it showed that how Lakshman was. When Lakshman asked his mother Sumitra that what should I do when Ram is going, he said, go with him. You have no work here. You are his shadow. That is the reason there's a very beautiful couplet also where they say that every human in this world has a dark shadow except Ram, because his shadow is Lakshman, and Lakshman is very fair. So he was like, if you say Lakshman did not sleep for 14 years of the exile, he kept watch on Lord Ram. So you can understand the love and feeling and everything which came to him. And he stood there like a shadow onto him, that he didn't allow any darkness to fall onto him. So these are the parts of understanding. And there's nothing to be hurt about Mother Sita going into Agni Pariksha. Don't we every day go through so many charging? Don't we in our office, even if we have done the best, have to prove ourselves every time? Though everybody knows you have done the work, don't we prove ourselves down to, even those are fire tests. See, now that has been given a story and the thing that it has been given in a huge, large form. That is the reason today we are thinking it is a fire test. But don't we go through the fire test every day? Is it easy for a woman when you go back, you get married and step into a new home and so many adjustments if you have to make? Isn't that a fire test? Is it that bad then? Why should we make all the tests? Don't we always question ourselves? Isn't that a fire test also? Just because we're looking at a point and looking at a dimension from this century, it's different. From there, it was different. And it was a part that time that was given, and she accepted because she wanted Ram to win. It was not because Ram and Sita wanted to, Ram had something, demeaned her by doing this. There was nothing demeaning about it. It was the proof what faith Ram had in her, and how the faith the other people see. If he was the king, he would have said, no, nobody could have forced him. But then he would have been doubted every time. So he sealed the mouth of the people forever. So these are the points. So these will come. So even if you become a king, you will also have to go through all these things. And some part maybe in our lives, any lives, we all have been kings and queens somewhere or other, because there were so many of them in the so part of the world. And we have also gone through, just because we don't remember or know things. Being a king and queen, it looks very fancy, but it's one of the most toughest jobs in this world.